Just want to quickly go over where we are in terms of how many connectors we've produced and highlight a lot of the publishers that we have here. So again, independent publisher connectors are connectors developed by MVPs, students, and developers. Anyone can develop a connector. You don't have to own the API or backend service. And of course, they're available within Power Automate, Power Apps, and Azure Logic Apps. And they are certified by Microsoft, more specifically, a couple of team members that I work with closely day to day. So we have 38 connectors in production, up 8 in the last 2 weeks, which is pretty awesome. 3 of these connectors are co-authored. 3 of these connectors have been updated, and I know there is a lot more updates to come in the queue as well, and a total of 23 incredible independent publishers. So just want to highlight the 8 that came out. So you can see here that there is a new connector to a Microsoft service as well, which is really interesting. We also have a New York Times connector, the ORB intelligence connector to the Weather Channel, Clearbit, Federal Reserve Economic Data, Mailbox Validator, and Unix timestamp. So a lot of possibilities with these new connectors. And of course, we want to always highlight our outstanding publishers for publishing all their great connectors. And one of their independent publishers is here with us today, Tomasz Poszytek. So you definitely see him on the list here as well. And just want to go side by side on the total number of connectors in production on the left, and then the number of connectors in the certification pipeline as well that are still making it through. So in production, you can see there's actually a couple of weather services, which is really interesting. We have AccuWeather now, we have Weather Forecast, we have the Weather Channel, so that's definitely been a pretty big theme. But we also have a lot of different kinds, especially with registries. So we have number 2 is the registries to Norway, but then also we have something called LibreBor, which allows you to go into the registries for Spain. So it's really interesting to start seeing like all the trends and the commonalities that we have, including, of course, a connector to NASA too. So it's pretty awesome to see the wide variety that we're getting. And yeah, so Tomasz Poszytek is here today. He's an MVP, and he's going to show us an awesome demo on the myStrom connector. And the cool thing is that the myStrom connector is definitely the first of its kind, at least in this group of independent publisher connectors. So Tomasz, over to you.
All right. As you mentioned, myStrom is the first of its kind. It's actually used to automate homes. The myStrom company is a Swiss company behind Wi-Fi bulbs and Wi-Fi switches and some other home automation small devices, so-called. I'm working with that devices for a couple of years already, because first I met them in 2018 when I was preparing for a session for an Oslo SPS Saturday. And then once I learned about the Independent Publisher Connectors program, I decided to switch my custom connector into that Independent Publisher Connector and share it with the whole world. So the connector itself, it actually allows to, well, first to authenticate, then it has a couple of actions around. There is a set of endpoints or the actions that we can use. So you can list all devices that you have in your home. You can toggle them, you can turn them off, you can turn them on, you can set their properties, you can create webhooks, so as well trigger some automations depending on actions in other systems. And there is as well a feature called a scene, like in Philips Hue, so you can connect some of the devices into a group and then just toggle the screen on or toggle the screen off. So for example, you are turning on the lights, you are turning on music, you are turning on your coffee machine all in the same time. Well, and that's it. So there are no more endpoints built by the provider. So let me just show you about the use case purpose. I actually created a custom connector in the first place. So my idea was to create a solution that every morning notifies me about the current weather and air conditions, because I'm usually using bike to go to work. So I just wanted to know if the air quality actually is good enough to just go outside and breathe normally, or maybe I should take a mask and so on. So I just built a solution I'm using for 3 years already, that every morning is asking Early, it's a Polish air quality provider, for current situation, for current air quality in my neighborhood. And then, well, it's using SharePoint as a database. Don't blame me. It's quite an old solution. But in the end, it's storing all the information about the air quality and current weather in that SharePoint. Then it's refreshing the data set in Power BI, because the Power BI is actually being used as an interface that is displayed on a tablet that I have next to my doors. So once that Power BI dashboard is refreshed or is triggered to refresh, then I'm calling Azure function to pass hash color into HSV, because the myStrom accepts HSV as the definition of the color. And then it's actually turning on the bulb into the color that corresponds to current air quality. So then I just see what color is on the bulb when I'm leaving home. So it's like green, all fine. And then the more it comes into the red, then the air is actually worse. So I'll just trigger it on. So you'll be able to see. I actually brought my light with me. So here is my light, my bulb, hidden. I mean, not hidden, in the whatever, in this thingy. Okay, it seems that. So just in a moment, the bulb should really turn on to the color that, well, actually corresponds to the current weather condition, I mean, air quality. So it's a little bit yellowish. I don't know if you can see that. And then once I navigate to Power BI, it takes around a minute and a half to refresh the data set. So I won't see the results immediately. However, on the tablet, there is an application installed that turns the tablet into like a kiosk tablet. So it is refreshing it automatically in schedule. So like after 5 minutes, it is being automatically refreshed, and then it downloads the latest data. However, this is information from yesterday. You can see that the latest update was on 10th. The air quality is not that much different. So here I have all this information about the current weather conditions and the air quality, like how many those particles are floating in the air, and if I can breathe normally, how much the norms are exceeded, and so on. So that's actually the whole solution and the whole demo, and as well the information behind the myStrom connector. So I hope you liked it.
Yes. Thank you, Tomasz. Thank you. Great demo. So great job.